Hi, today's story is called Princess Grace. This is Grace, and she's a princess. Or is she? Grace wanted to be a princess for as long as she could remember. Most of her favourite stories were about princesses like Snow White and the Sleeping Beauty, and the one who couldn't fall asleep on the pea. Some became princesses with the help of spells like Cinderella or Beauty. Grace loved to act out their stories, making her nana play fairy godmother or telling her cat Paw Paw he had to be the beast. So imagine Grace's excitement at school when her teacher said there would be a competition to choose girls from her class to be princess for a day. There's going to be a parade with the local school, said the teacher, to collect money for charity. And we all have a float with a special queen. Ours have been chosen already from the top year, and it was her idea to pick 2 princesses from each of our class. Well, after that, all the girls were twirling in imaginary ball grounds and saying that they were bound to be the parade princess, especially Natalie. My dad always calls me princess, she said, so I'm used to being one. This made Grace sad for 2 reasons. She didn't like Natalie, and she didn't have a daddy of her own, at least not one who lived with her. The boys were pretty disgusted with the whole idea. Princesses are boring, said Kester. Grace rushed home, very excited, to tell Ma and Nana the news. So can I be a princess, Ma? She asked. And will you make me a costume, Nana? Of course, honey, said Nana. If you can tell me what a princess wears, I'll try and make it. And of course you can dress up like a princess, said Grace. Said Grace's mum. But that doesn't mean you'll get chosen for the parade. Grace rushed off to her storybook to see if she could find out what a princess wore. Her best friend Amy and Maria came round to help. They didn't want to be princesses as much as Grace did, but Maria didn't like being looked at, and Amy didn't think her mother would make her a costume. It must be pink and floaty with a train, said Grace. And a crown and a wand, said Maria. No, said Grace, that's fairies. Wings then, said Maria. That's fairies, said Grace. Or angels, said Amy. So what am I making, said Nana, confused. I don't know if it's a dress for a Christmas tree fairy or a bridal gown. It's a bit like those, I think, said Grace. I don't know, it must be very pretty. That's more than one way to be pretty, said Nana. I suppose it depends what she does, said Amy. I don't know, said Grace. What do princesses do, Nana? You're telling me, darling, said Nana. But no one could, except for wearing beautiful clothes and looking pretty. That's all they did. That doesn't sound very interesting, said Grace. She liked having things to do. Maybe Kester was right. Maybe princesses were boring. You know what, said Nana? I think maybe you've been reading the wrong stories. Why don't you ask your teacher? So that's what Grace did. Her teacher took it very seriously and came back to class with a whole lot of books about interesting princesses. There were real ones like Amina from Nigeria, who led warriors into battle and built walls around her village, and Ping Yang from China, who started a women's army. Wow, said Grace, surprised. That sounds more like soldiers than princesses. They wouldn't wear anything pretty while they were fighting, said Natalie. I don't want to be that kind of princess. But the teacher found modern princesses who were scientists and sportswomen. And one was even a spy. That's a bit more like it, said Kester. You could be one like that, Grace. So all these are princesses, not what you normally think is a princess. Even with stories of princesses the teacher had found, they were not like the ones Grace thought. They were Cinderella from Egypt, Cambodia, and the Philippines, and a Zimbabwean girl called Nisha, who was kind to a snake and turned into a prince. Grace felt less and less like being pink and floaty. She couldn't imagine making friends with a big snake wearing the sort of fairy costume at the same time. It's a brave princess to make friends with a snake. Can't there be princesses in the parade? Can't there be princes in the parade? Said Raj at lunchtime. Why does it have to be princesses? And why are they pink and pretty short? Pretty, said Grace. Can't we be all kinds of from other countries? You've changed your tune, Grace, said the teacher. I thought you were into fairy tale princesses. I do, but the others seem much more fun. And all the other children agreed. Said the teacher. I believe we're going to have to think again about the parade. They've changed their minds. The mum and dads and grannies and childminders all chatted at the school gate. The words soon got around about the prince and princesses. You need to decide, Grace, said Nana. Have you made up your mind about which princess you want to be and what kind of adventures you want to go on? I'd like to be an African one. Is there one from the Gambia? Can you find me a story? Said Grace. Hold on, said Ma. Have you been chosen yet? No, said Grace. I haven't. I forgot about that. No harm in being prepared, said Nana. Do you know any Gambian princess stories? I could ring Papa, said Ma. He might know. But Grace's Papa didn't know any, nor did his wife, Jatu. It doesn't matter, Grace, said Nana. I could use some of the kente cloth we brought back in Gambia and might make you a robe fit for a princess. It won't be pink. Will you still like it, Grace? There's more than one way to be pretty, said Grace. So these are traditional colours, clothes from the Gambia, which is in Africa. On the day of the parade, Gracie's school had the most interesting float of all, but it was all a bit crowded because all the Japanese and African and Spanish princesses all sat there at once. The whole class had been chosen to take part. Maria didn't mind being looked at because she wasn't the only one, and Nana had made the dress for Amy too. Raj was a Hindu prince, and Kester was a sort of English knight. Natalie was like a Christmas fairy tree in a pink and floaty dress. Look at that. Which do you think is best? This one? Or this one where Grace is? I think that one. All different, but all special. But Grace didn't want to be the kind of princess anymore. She was enjoying her West African kente robes. Are you happy? Called Nana. Yes, said Grace. I feel like a proper princess, ready for any adventure. That's the end. Snip, snap, snout. The story's out. So, Grace did become a princess, but not this kind of princess. That kind of princess. It's good to know there are different kinds of princesses. They don't all wear pink. Because not everyone likes pink. I think that looks much better. What do you think? What would you wear? Okay, see you next time.